This young lady, she was with us January the 5th. Yeah, started the year off January 5th with us. She lives in Southern California. Her husband named Stephen. I think he's on here as well. She has a teenager daughter and son. She loves working with kids. She loves dancing a lot and having a lot of fun. She loves having a good time. She loves CrossFit, and she's also on the road to RD, and she is excited about the new position that ACN came out with. And she's back with us today. Without further ado, from the great state of Southern California, the one and only Miss Heather Peery. Can we give her a hand, everybody?
Hello, good morning, family. I am so excited to be here with you guys because you know what? We spend every morning together. So even if we've met in person or not, we spend every morning together. Good morning. So I'm so glad to be here with you guys. First off, thank you so much, Mr. Al Thomas. Thank you so much for just asking me to do this, for believing in me, seeing whatever it is you see in me to have me just speak on here, because you guys hear all the time. You know who Mr. Al Thomas is. He's a legend in this industry, and man, I'm just a baby. I'm still learning here. So for him to just ask me to do this, it's nice. It's such an honor. And Mr. Jabri Clemens, shout out. Thank you for always being here and helping us out with these leaderships every day. No matter where you're at, you're here. So thank you so much. Okay, guys, so we're going to get started. So what we're going to talk about is, what does being coachable really look like? Now, whenever I get asked to speak on something like this, I say, I can't speak about anything I don't know anything about. I'm not interested in just being in front of the camera and looking like I know what I'm talking about, or trying to move up in some kind of way where this makes me look a certain way. No, I can only talk about things that I know deep down, right? So what does being coachable really look like? And so real simple, listening to exactly what your coach is telling you. And the word exactly, pay attention to that. It's listening to what your coach is exactly telling you. Now, for some of us, that may be very hard, and we're going to go over why, maybe what some of those reasons are why it's hard for you to do that. So what does coachable look like in sports? I mean, when your coach tells you go run this long, you go run that long. Do this many push-ups, you do that many push-ups. An example, when I was a kid, I ran cross country, played soccer and track. Well, when I was a kid, I didn't know this was weird at the time, but now that I'm this age, I'm like, wow, we did that as high schoolers. Our coach said, okay, you run a lot of miles, because it's cross country. And he said, you run a lot of miles. You guys need to start drinking water all throughout the day. You need to bring water. You need to drink it all throughout your day at school. And you need to bring your lunch. Don't eat that junk at the school. Bring your lunch. Well, what'd we do? We brought water, we drank it throughout the day, and we brought our lunch. Those high schoolers listened. When he told us to run 10 miles, we didn't cut any corners. We ran 10 miles. At the time, that was just normal to me. But now when I think about it, kids would have cut. They would have stopped at 7-Eleven, got a Slurpee, and kind of keep going. But we didn't do that. So that's being coachable. College, same thing. They told us what to do in our sport there. We did it no matter how hard it was. So that's what it looks like kind of in sports. What about if you have a trainer? Your trainer, says, we're going to do cardio today. You're going to do the cardio. Or if they give you a meal plan specifically for you, they're going to have all your meals, all your snacks. You're going to do all that because you saw the results that your trainer has. You like the way they look. Maybe you saw other people, you like how they look, and you're going to do it. You have a desire for that. You want to do that. Or how about, let's bring it back to our business. How about when we're going to get customers? What does the system tell us? What is our coaches telling us? Favor, help, try. What does it look like? We're going to actually say and use the system and ask for favor, help, try. Because we know that sometimes we might leave a couple of those words out, right? But to be coachable, we're going to actually say, hey, I need a favor. I need your help. Pause, wait for them to answer. Like, you're going to actually say this. Because I've been there where I didn't say that. Okay, because we're going to go over why when we're not coachable. Hey, I need your help. I need a favor. Wait, say your why. And then, hey, if I can, save you some money or meet or beat, would you please do me a favor? I'm going after promotion, and give one of my services a try. You're going to actually say it and not cut out the words. Okay, so that's a little bit. So it takes humbleness, desire, and trust to be coachable. I'm going to give you another example. You guys may not know this, but my coach is the Queen of Hearts, Miss Jocelyn Driscoll, Regional Vice President. Awesome, awesome woman. As you guys know, you heard from her yesterday, right? It takes humbleness to be coachable, because all of us here that do this business, we're all adults, right? We all think we know a certain something, right? Well, you guys, don't be fooled by Miss Jocelyn Driscoll's smile and her beautiful blonde hair, and she's a woman of faith and all that. That woman's a weapon. You don't know in the background the talks, the coaching she's giving to me and to her team. And it takes humbleness to listen to what she's saying, because sometimes you got to hear things that you might think you don't want to hear, or you don't think you should hear, or it's just stuff you need to hear. And it takes humbleness to listen, because even if, no matter how old you are, you might think, hey, I don't know if I really need to hear this right now, or, oh, here we go. All that kind of stuff that we do takes humbleness to listen to that, right? So humbleness, desire, and trust, that's what it takes to be coachable. Okay. And I love it, because when coaches do that, even if it's hard, we need it. It's good for us. Okay. It's real good for us. Another example, I had a musical theater class in college. So many people would be dropping out of it themselves. They would like get out because they couldn't take the constructive criticism. They wouldn't say it was constructive. They just thought they're criticizing too much. It's too hard. They cared about us a lot, but they weren't smiling when they were giving us that constructive criticism, and their tone of voice didn't sound like, oh, you know, you should really, no, they were telling us, we brought it to the table and they were telling us, but I knew deep down, they're going to make us real good, like real good. So I stayed in there, but a lot of people, they could not take that. So it takes humbleness, desire, and trust. Trust your coach, right? Trusting them, what they're telling you is going to make you better, and it is the best way for you, and that they have your, you know, good intentions in mind. This is also, you know, hopefully leaders I'm talking to too, that if that's not your thought process, where you really have their good intentions in mind, what would be best for them? What would, you know, how could this help them? How could this, you know, click for them if I say it like this? Right? It has to be very thoughtful and care about those other people in a real way, instead of you just trying to get to, you know, your next vision, or you're trying to get, you know, to points. Think about these people. I mean, the people that come on our teams, there's real people with real lives, real situations, and we want to truly get them to success. We want to truly have them feel encouraged. We want to have them truly grow, because, you know, if you've been in this business for any certain amount of time, you know that the coaching and the friendships you make, and the Mr. Al Thomases and the Miss Jocelyn Driscolls, they help you outside of ACN by the things they tell you, and you could see it. So, okay, let's talk about, why are some people not coachable to the system? Now, this is for all of us. We're all leaders here, because if you don't have a team, you will. And if you have a team, hopefully this sheds some light on why some people are just not moving. You know, what's the deal? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a leader. Okay, first example that they might not be coachable to the system is fear. I remember, for me, I can speak for me, I was just too afraid to say the favor, help, try, because I was afraid of, how are people going to look at me when I say this? I was thinking too much about what they were going to think in their minds, like thinking their thoughts for them, probably. I don't know why I'm doing that, but just telling you, be real. This could be some people, they're just thinking that. Or what are they going to think after I say this? So just think about that. That could be some people. Okay, so fear. The second one would be pride. You know, I don't want to ask for a favor, because, you know, that favor might get held over my head, whether that makes sense to you or not. Some people think that. I know I thought that before, because I had some baggage in the past. You know, someone help me, it might be, you know, held over my head. Or some people say, I don't ask for favors. That's like begging. Some people think that, but it helps you think what people are thinking, right? So pride. So that's why some people don't follow the system. How about just not being confident? I'm going to say that. And I'm referring to like our system, when we have like our scripts and we kind of make them our own. I'm going to say that. What happens after I say this? I sound funny saying this. It's true. Some people think some of that. that can go into like self-doubt too, right? Why some people are just not coachable system. If you hear anything in yourself that this might be you, then that's great, because then you know where to go and what you can work on. Okay, now this was an interesting one. I talked to somebody that, they're very honest with me and said they have, trouble being coachable. And this is an example. So that IBO may not trust the leader because they may not believe the leader is paying enough attention to the details like they would, or that they would have the correct information. Okay. Just something to think about. That could be a reason why someone else is just not being coachable system, even if they're going to training, even if you see them on leaderships and all that. All right. And then belief. Some people might think, I don't really believe that what you're telling me is going to get me the results I'm expecting. It is what it is. It's just real, right? Some people could be thinking that. So hopefully for some of us, that just helps us have more patience, have a little more understanding of what could be going on in some of our, teams' minds. Or maybe they're not desperate enough, which would go back to belief. Okay, let's say you say it's clicked. Okay, it's my belief. That's the problem with me right now. Well, I'm not being coachable. Okay, what do I do now? Okay, so what you do now is we take some action, which gets us some results, and it causes you to believe just a little more. Right? Now, if you're so fearful, like I was a while back, where it was just so hard to do any type of movement or doing something to move forward, then that's a whole other conversation where you can watch a video of getting to the root that I talked about. Just look it up on Destiny International. You need to get to the root of that problem. Okay. So if it's belief, then you know what? You better not miss an ACN event, because what do they tell us about events? They build what? Belief. I cannot tell you how many times I've went to an event by myself, or my husband was with me sometimes, or just by myself, where I knew something was off, I knew something was wrong, and I knew it was a belief problem, but I sat in that seat and said, okay, they said it builds belief. I need help. Sat there just getting something, right? You better fill your mind with positive things. Me, I'm, a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. So part of my positive thing that I read is the Bible, along with personal development books that they tell us. These leaderships are full of things that they give us to read that are positive. They say Power of a Subconscious Mind, Think and Grow Rich. There's books on how to think big. You got to bombard yourself with reprogramming your mind to think positive, to not have limits, right? I mean, bombard, okay? Bombard it. Maybe listening, to stories like Miss Jocelyn Driscoll was talking about yesterday, listening to stories of the underdog that made it, right? And those books, like I was saying. So just throwing anything and everything, listening to everything, hanging around people that that it's possible, that belief, it's lifted way high. You want to bombard yourself with that. Reprogram your thoughts to not self-doubt. If it is self-doubt, hit everything that has to do with belief so that you can learn from other people that believe. That's what I used to do. I'd be like, this is a problem. I don't really believe. Why is that? And, I would listen to, a Mr. Al Thomas or Miss Jocelyn Driscoll or all our leaders. And I just observe and watch like, oh, they really believe, and just glean off of what they were saying. Like, wow. Do that, bombard, go aggressively after that so you can get over that stuff. Okay, so the ACN system, if we just look at it for what it is, just what they teach us on Saturday training, it's not hard, right? It's not it's not complicated. It's not hard to grasp, right? Just the system alone by itself. It's us. It's what we bring. It's our baggage. It's what we bring that makes it complicated. I don't know if you guys have ever thought of that. If I remember just when I finally got over like my fear and intimidation and insecurity, and I just looked at the system just by itself, I'm like, this really isn't complicated. It's just what they said. You just do it and you help someone else do it. And really that's it. And I said, whoa, I made it really complicated because I had a lot of baggage. I had a lot of stuff. So it's us. So if someone's not following the system, there could be some things in there that need to be looked at. And that's what I love about this business. You got to be so tough to be here in ACN because, you know, they've always said that ACN is a personal growth program with a compensation plan attached to it. That is, I don't know, do you guys know how incredibly true that is? I personally do. Like I've told you guys before, I couldn't even be on a call like this talking to you guys without the training, without the coaching, without the personal growth that they have just poured out on us, and just that doing that work in the dark personally to get over things. I mean, it's amazing. So amazing. So, you know, I just wanted to shed some light, and hopefully that it would help some of us just to have, you know, more patience for people on our team, some more understanding, possibly maybe even some compassion, because, you know, people that come into our business, no matter what financial background, no matter what profession, we all have some things. And it's always good to, it always helps me anyway. It helps me be a little bit more patient when I understand where they're coming from a little bit. You know, yes, I know it can be frustrating, and I know it's good, you know, how we react. Oh, come on, just do it. But these are real things, dealing with real people, with real past, with real things that happen in their childhood, with real things they picked up along the way. And then we get them at this point in time, and we give them a system. And then sometimes people take off and it's awesome. And sometimes people kind of just pause a little bit, and we get to be that person in their life, that coach that gets to be with them along the way, and you get to see, you know, the growth. So that is what I have for you guys today. Short, sweet, to the point, and I hope this helped. I appreciate you, Mr. Thomas, so much for having these leaderships, and I'm so glad I got to speak to you guys, my morning family, and I will see you guys soon.